Guys, today on the channel, we're going to check out the Happymodel Mobula8 Digital HD 2S 85mm Whoop. Alright guys, welcome back to the Drone Camps channel. Let's go ahead and get started with this review. We're going to compare it today in this review to the Pavo Pico by BetaFpv. I know a lot of you guys want to hear the differences between the two, and I'm going to give you my opinion right here in this review. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do some indoor flying with the Mobula8 and outdoor flying. And we'll show you some 4K stabilized video, we'll show you some smooth flying and some freestyle. Alright guys, welcome back from the flight tests. This is a lot of fun on 2S and 1103 series motors. It has an F405 flight controller from Crazy Bee, and it has built-in SPI ELRS receiver on there, which you can use. It has the antenna sticking out the bottom right here. It also can be paired up with TBS Crossfire, which I decided to do, and I have mine coming out the top back here. We have our 03 installed here with the antennas coming out the back. This power system is running 12 amp ESCs with Blue Jay firmware on there, so it is super smooth and feels good in the air. And again, this is an 85mm Whoop, and you can get it in a few different versions. I feel like this version though, the 03 version, is probably would be my choice, but again, it's $380. That's really expensive for a 2S micro brushless Whoop. An HD 0 is going to cost you $240. The Lite for the 03, if you want to add your own stuff on there. If you already have an 03 laying around, that's $95. About the same price as the Pavo Pico. So the walk snail version's at $240. The Mobula8 has EX1103 11,000 kV brushless motors. This prop does have a 1.5mm shaft hole on there if you're wondering if you're going to try some different props. And again, these are Gemfan Hurricanes, they're 2023 number. So now you see the Mobula8 sitting next to BetaFpv Pavo Pico, and I have to do a little bit of comparison so that it helps you figure out which one is right for you, because each of these quads do fly different. Now the Mobula8 I feel like it's faster and it can fly in a bigger type of field. Big open air, it can do monstrous power loops and split S and all kinds of fun freestyle moves. This one can do the same thing, but it can do it a little bit slower. So again, if you're somebody who's a beginner, this one would be great for beginners. I also like the fact that they have a carbon frame here and the inverted motors. It makes it a little bit kind of better for cinema type videos. If you want to take this one along as a backup quad for real estate videos, this one would be amazing. I also just want to show you the difference between the plastic from the Pavo Pico and the head assembly for the 03 on the Mobula8. It's much beastier on the Mobula8 versus the Pavo Pico. Feels smaller and lighter. And again, like if the point of this is to be light, I feel like this is way lighter design than what Happymodel has here. If we were to weigh these, I guarantee that this is a lighter top plate. This is a little bit smaller wheelbase. As you can see, this is 85 millimeter, and this is around, I believe it was 79 millimeters. They say, again, like 80 grams for this one and 100 grams for this one. So this one does have 1103 motors. This one has 1102 motors, but this one has an F4 flight controller. They both have plug and play motors again, and a little bit smaller props, a little bit larger props. Both have 12 amp ESCs, but this one has Blue Jay firmware on there. So I feel like it's nice and smooth and responsive. When I need to kind of turn on a dime and get out of there with this quad, it really is snappy, and it has a great throttle response on it. So I really like the ESC firmware that's on here. This one is flying really good, and it has a great tune on there. So really, if you're on the fence between the Pavo Pico and the Mobula8, the Pavo Pico just flies a little slower and kind of more predictable. The Mobula8 can fly fast and furious. If you bring down this camera and adjust your rates, you could still use this one for a cinema quad for indoor real estate type videos or fly-throughs. Either quad can rip or slow way down. It just really just depends on which power system you want. I'm wondering if I can get a longer flight time on the Pico, but we'll have to do more testing and find out which one can give me the longest flight time on something like a 2S 450. Because I was ripping packs with this quad. The Mobula8 was getting around 2.5 minutes flight time, but that was also doing kind of freestyle in the big open fields, and that's where I really enjoyed this quad. It would be kind of a joy to fly anytime during the week. So hopefully that helped you make up your mind, and it really depends on what you want, which frame style you like better, inverted motors or the upward facing motors, maybe a little more durable frame here, but no carbon fiber here. So yeah, it's up to you. Elrs options for Elrs 3.0 or TBS Crossfire, all the bells and whistles. You know, if you want to grab the analog version, I'll put a Mobula analog version down there as well. Those are a ton of fun and a big time FPV classic. So if you're on a budget, just go for the analog versions of these. There's a ton of different 85 millimeter whoops out there. So take your pick or ask me for my opinion down in the comments below. I appreciate you guys watching. You should definitely subscribe because we're going to have more RC reviews and FPV drone reviews coming up on the channel, guys. Take care. I'm Justin Davis, and I will see you on the next one.